Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and this is our last video of 2022. We will be going on break doing the holiday NESmas special after this, and I'll be here over the holidays still making gaming videos, lots of stuff to play, but the 1001 quest will be on hold for a little bit. But we're going to end today with Spy vs. Spy, an official Mad Magazine video game from 1984. We, of course, have the iconic Commodore load screen, which is just a garble of colors. They're kind enough to give us like a title card to go over this, but they hadn't invented load bars. Load bars weren't a thing. Nobody thought, hey, you know, it'd be interesting is like a bar that fills up to 100%. They're like, you know what? People need to know a game is loading. Throw every color the system can produce on the screen at the same time. And that will inform them that things are happening. Sometimes the Commodores make random noises. Not pleasant noises, just random sounds. It's, you know, just do whatever. It's like if someone asked you to cook a meal and you went into the kitchen and you just started banging pots and pans and throwing dishes all over the place. Just so people knew that you were actually in there doing something. Now, I did have to look up how to play this game because it's a little obscure. But it does actually look kind of interesting. So it's not as complicated once you actually sit down to play it. While we're waiting for this to load, I can say that I actually used to love Mad Magazine as a kid. And I had Spy vs. Spy novels as a kid. They were comics, but it was like a whole novel. It was shaped like a novel and stuff. And it was like 200 pages of nonstop Spy vs. Spy. And I just love those. I think those were actually my dad's. I think were from like the 60s or 70s. Like they were really old. And I should have kept them as I grew up, but I don't know where they are these days. I'm sure I just gave them away or threw them out or something at one point. But yeah, Spy vs. Spy novels. If any of you guys actually remember those, if any of you are old enough, it'd be great to hear about it down below. But this is the demo. We see one spy beating the other with a rod. They're just sort of poking each other. The way this game works, excuse me, is that each spy has like 21 hours to live, and every time one of the spies dies, you lose like 3 or 4 hours. And in the meantime, what you're supposed to do is go around into all these rooms, and you're looking for like spy things, like secret files and stuff. And if you get them all, you can escape. And the only other thing to do is to booby trap different rooms, so you can like put bombs and springs, and it's very Home Alone style. A gun with a rope attached to it. Well, I guess that's Home Alone never did that. But a bucket of water on a door, you know, like college level pranks. And this is what Spy vs. Spy was, if you ever read the comics. It was like two guys with giant noses. They look like the Maitlands did in Beetlejuice when they got chewed out for not scaring the Dietzes very well. So the one guy pulls his nose really long and plucks his eyeballs out, puts them on all his fingers. They look like that, only they had actually eyes. But kind of weird looking humanoids. One's black, one's white. They weren't affiliated with any nation. It was just sort of random. And it was sort of like a Tom and Jerry kind of thing. Like they, you know, sometimes one would win, sometimes the other would. They were just always trying to like prank and trick each other, and in the complex spy game as it was. So anyway, let's see here. Number of players, 1. Level of difficulty. Whoops, didn't check the controls. Oh God, what are the controls? I don't know how to move or do anything. Well, this is embarrassing. Okay, I think I turned around and I just died. Okay, let me check the controls here. I thought I had a controller hooked up here, but I think maybe the batteries are dying in it. All right, let me get some batteries, and then we'll do this whole spy thing. All right, we finally got this working. Actually, it's funny. It's a seamless edit in the video, but Literally, it's the next day. It took me that long to actually get it recording. So I don't know what I said in the first 5 minutes there. I've forgotten. So whatever. Let's go ahead and hop in here. This is Spy versus Spy. I'm the white spy. The black spy is on the bottom. When you're both in the same room, it turns into a terrible action combat game. I don't fully understand how I'm supposed to fight. I will say this, as interesting as I find this game, and as much as I appreciate what they're trying to do, the controls are awful. They're absolutely awful. I tried one round, just to make sure I could get the buttons right, and I could barely get anything to work. Now, it's one of these things of, like, Commodore 64 games do this weird thing where they dual task the button, because for Commodore 64 controllers, they had a joystick and one button. And they tried to do more advanced things, and, you know, I get that you're trying. I like that the effort is there to try and make more complex games, but it means that one button has to attack, search, select an item, place an item, open a door, close a door. And it's like, depending on if you're holding a direction or you're just pressing a button and not holding a direction, different things will happen. I don't even know if I'm winning this fight, to be honest. I don't even understand how we're fighting. In fact, this is awful. I'm just gonna leave the room. This is so stupid. So the way the combat is supposed to work is when you're in a room together, you guys fight, and if somebody dies, you see on the right-hand side there we have time. So I just died. When you die, you lose time. When the timer gets to 0, you basically die. So what you're supposed to do is go around each room collecting items. He's got some items, as you can see there. Now he's in the room. He wants to kill me already. Let's just literally leave. So as you get items, you slowly collect the like 5 or 6 items that you need to actually win the game. And then you just have to find the exit and then you win. You can Home Alone the rooms. So for instance, you can attach... Oh god, he came in the room. It's actually really annoying to play against the computer because you don't get any opportunity to actually like lay any traps. Like, I want to set up a gun trap. You can connect a gun. We just lost! We straight up just lost. Oh my god. It's an interesting idea for a game, but it's like, I can't even describe it to you before you just randomly lose. The controls are too bad, it happens too fast, and here's the thing, it's like you're supposed to get like 6 items and then leave. You have all this ability to set up all these Home Alone traps, like a bucket of water on a door, a gun attached to a rope where they open the door and they get shot, stuff like that. I'm gonna set it to 2 players so that we can actually explore the game a little. Oh, and I guess the controller controls both players. It's actually really funny. There we go. Alright, we'll be in separate rooms. Okay, follow the white guy on top. So, you find these items. I have one of them. Now what you can do is place bombs. There you go. So I placed a bomb in that cabinet, and then when I opened it, I got killed. So that's one of the things you can do. Let's be the black spy now. You can place a water bucket on a door. Let's see here. And then when you open the door, water falls on your head and you die, I guess, from water. You can attach a gun to a door. You can use a spring that will bounce the other spy back. You can do all these things. But the point is, you're just walking into a room, searching for an item, and you're trying to get 4 items. And you can only carry 1 item at a time. And so there's a briefcase out there somewhere, and that briefcase basically lets you hold all the items. And that's basically all there is to it. The Spy vs. Spy comics were very much just sort of like, you know, 1v1. This spy wants to catch that spy, and they're tricking him, Tom and Jerry style. Oh, the black spy has the briefcase over here. So here. And okay, we have the briefcase. And now I think we just go around and we can collect everything. We found more or less everything. Yes, this is literally all there is to the game. I think this would be a slightly more interesting game to play with a friend, but I also don't 100%. And then here's the exit right here. So you just go, and you win. That's it. That's all there is to the game. Get the briefcase, collect all 4 things. Booby trap or fight the other guy if need be, but otherwise just escape. And that's it. I definitely remember this game being, I think it was on NES as well. And I think I do remember trying it once and not being able to figure out what to do and just being like, well, forget it. You know, like, especially as a kid, if you had no instructions or online, nothing. Like, what would you do? Number, IQ of computer player. Oops. I was gonna set the difficulty to something higher, but I think, can we reset the game? Yeah, we can. Let's see what happens when we set the difficulty. 36 rooms. Level 8 difficulty. Let's just see. So one other thing you can do. Hold on, we'll get in the different rooms. One other thing you can do is check this map here. That's actually a crazy number of rooms. I guess when you have this many rooms, and look, we have 23 hours to find everything. I guess when you have this many rooms, you can set up traps and stuff. Maybe just on the low levels of difficulty is really stupid. Oh, he blew himself up somehow. If you go into the map, it will show you what rooms, the rooms that have dots on them are the rooms that have stuff that you basically need. So that's how you kind of know where to go, but yeah, this is it. I guess there are also these things which are like countermeasures, so each of these little things in the room will be like a countermeasure to a specific trap. So you can like deactivate some of the traps, but it's basically Home Alone. Just sort of in spy versus spy form. There's a ladder here that goes somewhere. Oh, there we go. Now we're on a whole other level. It's a big maze. Interesting concept. Not sure that the execution was, I'm not sure this game was ready for the prime times. Do you guys remember Mad TV? That had like Nicole Sullivan, Will Sasso, I was gonna say Phil Hartman, but not Phil Hartman. What's that guy's name? He was in Futurama. Shoot. Phil something or Philman, I don't know. Mad TV, it was sort of like a Saturday Night Live knockoff, only it wasn't live. But it actually had some funny bits. My only complaint with Mad TV is I hated those stupid Stewart sketches, and they really started to lean into like the return characters, which I never really enjoyed. But it had some funny bits, especially when it first came out, and it had spy versus spy cartoons because it was Mad Magazine, which I always thought was pretty cool. And yeah, as I said in the intro, yesterday, I used to read spy versus spy novels because they were fun. They're sort of like, I also remember as a kid having big anthology Calvin and Hobbes. They weren't novels, but they were like big, thick, collected works, and those are really great. In fact, I have the entire Calvin and Hobbes collection on a bookshelf upstairs somewhere. And Calvin and Hobbes is one of my all-time favorite comics. Calvin and Hobbes, what did I read as a kid? Calvin and Hobbes, Archie, the Don Mills Mad Magazine novels that had like Spy versus Spy, and there were some other ones. There was also, I think, a comics novel that I also got from my dad, which was like BC, and it was about cavemen, I think, and I really liked that. But yeah, when I got a little older, if I ever woke up from a bad dream or couldn't sleep or something like that, I would just crack open an Archie, and like Archie was like so wholesome, and I wouldn't say it was like hilarious funny, but it was sort of like, it made you smirk, and it was like just sort of a familiar friend. You know, the world of Archie, the gang, they were always up to shenanigans, and it was a very reassuring thing to read as a kid. So I really loved me some Archie back in the day. and then they went and turned it into like a murder mystery show or something. Like, what is that Riverdale show about? I never even watched it. But it's sort of like they made Archie Hardcore or something. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like today's gonna be a super short video, which is sad because it's our last video of the 1001 Quest for the year. But again, we'll be doing other things. But I mean, there really is nothing else to show or do with this game. I like the idea of it. I like a Home Alone style prank trap game. Maybe playing with a second player would be more fun. Frankly, you know, I think if you played this back in the day, it would be more interesting than it is today. I think today the controls are just way too basic, and it's sort of like the framework for a much better game is here. But the controls are something you really have to get over. If you can get over those, playing with a friend, this could be a little bit of fun. Could be a little bit of fun. But it sort of feels like once you place a trap or a prank, there's no way for your friend to know they even need to disarm anything, so it just seems like it'd be tedious. You'd have to go and try and disarm everything with everything. So like, here's a water bucket to disarm whatever that is. So yeah, I don't know. I don't 100% know about this one. It is as a game unique for its time, so we got to give it that. Anyway, what do you guys think of Spy vs. Spy here? First of all, did you read the comics? Do you guys know about the novels I'm talking about? All that stuff. Second of all, share some love for this game, you know? Like, sometimes it's hard to evaluate a game years and years later, and I think this one falls into that camp. So if you truly do love this game, let me know what's awesome about it. Let me know your fond memories, your tips and tricks, experiences you had playing against your brother, your dad, what made it a great game. I think for us, it's the kind of game we'll never return to personally, but doesn't mean it wasn't fun back in the day. So share some love for Spy vs. Spy down below. And if you're in the Nesmus spirit in the next few days, keep an eye out, because our 12 days of Nesmus starts soon, and we got a whole bunch of fun holiday games to play this year. So guys, until 2023, this is the Jay from the 1001 Quest signing off, I guess. And Jay from Other Things. We'll see you very soon. Until next time, my friends, you take care of yourselves. Keep on spying. And otherwise, peace.